think I'm in Philadelphia anymore.
Hello, have you just arrived from one of the cities?
Why, yes. My name's Dorothy, and this is my first time visiting Renacentia. I'm here for the Division's Project Convention to help change my city. We're overwhelmed with pollution and trash. It's out of control. Are you going into the city, Mr. Tin Man?
Tin, for technologically innovative nanosuit, which is what I'm wearing. And yes, I am going into the city. We just have to follow the graphene paved road. Perhaps when you meet the ambassador, he'll have some ideas for you to help fix your city.
Road? We seem to be 100 feet above the ground.
Technically, this is one of our elevated walkway and ultra-pod hybrids. You don't know much about our city, do you?
Well, not especially, but I can see that you have a beautiful landscape.
Doesn't it? We have wonderful tree-lined rolling hills and a great view of the Susquehanna River.
I can also see you have rooftop gardens. Do your citizens grow their own food?
Yes, of course they do, Dorothy. And these self-sustaining skyscrapers have everything you would need to lead a great life, including plots of land to grow your own organic food.
You mean, besides regular apartment floors, there are places to exercise, work, learn, and relax? All my city has is your everyday skyscraping terrible trash piles.
Did someone say terrible?
Oh, hello, wicked witch. Care to join us?
I'm not really a witch. I mean, it's hard to stay evil in this city, okay? It's so environmentally friendly, it sickens me.
I wish one day all the cities were this clean.
Well, unfortunately, due to the Renacentia Divisions project, soon the wonderful days of pollution and wickedness will be over.
Speaking about trash and pollution, how does Renacentia not have any waste visible at all?
Excellent question. You see, as efficient as it may be, Renacentia's waste elimination system is quite simple. Whenever trash is collected, it is treated with one or more of our three different processes: NanoClean, Regreen, or PFW.
NanoClean?
And PFW.
NanoClean, Regreen, PFW. Oh my! I don't understand. Can you start out with NanoClean?
NanoClean uses titanium oxide nanoparticles that harness light to sterilize contaminated equipment generated in medical facilities, most of which we've substituted for microneedles.
Well, in Philadelphia, we just stored our medical waste in barrels that were just dumped along with all the other trash in the landfills. Now, where were we? You said Regreen?
Of course. Here in Renacentia, we've completely eliminated all need for paper packaging, and all documents are stored on high-tech databases. However, when we have the minimal need for paper, we take our woody, fibrous, organic material and recycle it into a new form of paper.
I mean, cities are built with emeralds, people. Judging by the amount of plants and trees here, I suppose there will always be a supply of organic waste to be processed by Regreen to prevent deforestation.
Exactly. And now we have PFW. I mean, really? Printing from waste? If you're just going to make it so we don't have trash anywhere, I might as well just throw out my broomstick and, I don't know, ride an ultrapod or walk on a walkway.
How in the world can you print from waste?
You see, we're quite famed for this process. Whenever manufacturers receive spools of filament that have gone through the process of being sorted, grinded, melting, and extruded, they can send blueprints to any 3D printer they choose to lay out the filament into solid products, including tools, such as this wrench.
Anyway, all trash is transported through new tubes, while sensors work their magic to sort the waste by molecular composition.
Oh, I heard about this. Then they use other pneumatic tubes to take each type of waste to its designated MRF, or Material Recovery Facility. Organic waste goes to Regreen, and everything else goes to PFW.
Well, aren't you just a little Miss Ruby Two-Shoes?
Why, thank you. Now, what about e-waste? Do you throw electronics out in the landfills like the other cities?
Of course not. Here in Renacentia, all our electronics are made with bioplastics, metal, and glass. We don't use circuit boards or wiring here because our devices are printed with graphene to conduct electricity. You see the tallest tower in our city here, the spire of Renacentia?
It transmits power for utilities and technology across the region, and it's embedded with graphene, so it's nearly impossible to destroy. Trust me, I've tried.
Graphene? You mean one of the strongest materials in the world? I never knew that Renacentia utilized in its architecture. Well, I understand that the spire distributes the energy, but how do you capture the energy for the citizens?
Through wind turbines, and for solar, since graphene dual purposes as both extra durable material, but also as solar panels, we use solar panels made of graphene for more efficiency and less expenses.
So basically, Renacentia uses the exact same energy sources as the other cities?
Oh, of course not. You haven't heard anything yet. Renergy is our city's innovative way to heat water as compost or organic leafy plant material breaks down in the compost bins and then continuously feeds the heated water to our organic gardens. See, there are 4 main R's in waste management: reduce, reuse, recycle, and my personal favorite, rot.
Renergy sounds amazing, but if you don't mind me wondering, I'm still in shock about how fast I got here. I was sure my journey would take at least 2 hours.
Oh wow, you're definitely behind the times. You traveled here using Rush at 1,000 miles per hour.
So you're telling me that I actually traveled that fast across cities in a train car?
What did you think brought you here, a tornado?
That's ridiculous. Well, Renacentia sounds wonderful. I really wish I had the right skill sets to design its many features.
Trust me, Renacentia needed many different engineering experts who followed a simple engineering and design process that assured the best results. First, they defined that no existing city's waste elimination system could handle the constantly growing population.
Then, civil engineers designed Renacentra's famous radial layout that makes the transportation of waste around our city much easier. Then, biological, chemical, and electrical engineers completed our second, third, and fourth steps, researching and maintaining Renacentra's innovative solutions. After that, mechanical engineers completed our fifth and sixth steps, testing and improving Renacentra's prototypes.
Did the engineers ever have to balance the negatives of the system's expenses and the positives of its ability to keep the city running smoothly?
Yes, of course they did. And after they made these trade-offs, we had to communicate our results. This was done through the RDP, or the Renacentia Divisions Project. We take our proven ideas of solid waste elimination and put them into the other cities into the northeastern United States, such as Baltimore, DC, and Philadelphia.
Well, thank you for bringing me to the RDP headquarters. I would have never learned as much as I did about Renacentia's waste elimination system and the city itself without your help. Renacentia sounds like a wonderful place to live.
Well, I guess there is no place like home.
Actually,
There's no place like Renacentia.
Thank you, guys. That was very enjoyable. What measures have been taken to protect your city from natural disasters?
So first of all, its location, as we spin a roll around, is located near current-day Scranton, Pennsylvania. So the area, the location itself is not prone to tsunamis or extreme hurricanes.
And as you can see, our residents live in self-sustaining skyscrapers that are embedded with graphene, so any natural disasters such as minimal or possible earthquakes cannot affect the citizens' safety.
In what ways will waste be different in the future?
in Renacentia, we've changed the way that waste is used after it's been created. Most cities in the past put their waste in landfills or put them in unsafe places or other human beings. But in Renacentia, we take a completely different approach. One of our methods is called PFW, or printing from waste. We take all of our waste that isn't organic and stretch it out and grind it into right-sized pieces that can be used as filament in our 3D printers, which can make something like that wrench.
In the future, we predicted that, first of all, the population will grow, so there will be a lot more waste and a lot more e-waste. But today, I mean, there's computers and electronics, but as we go further into the future, technology is going to be a huge part of that. So in our future city, we needed to figure out a way to get rid of that e-waste, and we decided that we would make them biodegradable. So once they became out of date, you could just put them in the compost bin and they would break down naturally.
What means of transportation do you have within your city? And also, how do you connect one side of the city with the other, with the river running through it?
Well, for within the city, for intra-city transportation, we have elevated of the likeness of present-day monorails called UP, which is short for ultrapods. Ultrapods do not use any fuel, so they do not emit any pollutants, and they run on magnetic levitation. And although ultrapods do not connect to every building, elevated pedestrian walkways embedded with graphene do, so pedestrians can use the walkways.
And then for outer cities, once again, as we spin our model, we use something called RUSH, which stands for Renascentia's Underground Subrail Highway, and it propels passengers in pods up to 1,000 miles an hour. And once again, it doesn't use any fuel, so it's completely clean, and it levitates above electromagnets to make the journey much smoother.
I love your jacket, by the way. What responsibilities of the individual residents and businesses in managing waste?
So today, currently, only less than 40% of people actually recycle, and we want to make that 100% of people. So all of our waste can turn into a new product. 100% of waste is transformed into something new. So as you can see, the citizen over there throws all of his waste into what's called a new tube or a pneumatic tube, and then sensors inside of the tube sort it by molecular composition. So anything that's bioplastic, metal, or glass goes to our PFW facility, and organic waste goes to Regreen to be turned into paper.
Yes, so in the past, since citizens did have to manually sort through their trash, the only responsibility they have in Red Essentia is to dispose of all of their trash into a new tube, which makes it much more convenient for industries and citizens themselves.
Tell me about how you promote a healthy lifestyle in your city. How do people recreate?
So in Red Essentia, we believe in that a healthy lifestyle consists of three main components: being mentally active, socially active, and physically active. So for being physically active, people can walk on our elevated walkways or go through our numerous parks that have a lot of green within them to keep themselves physically fit.
Extend on the physical aspect, inside of our self-sustaining skyscrapers, which have everything you need, from residential floors, commercial floors, and recreation floors. There's places like pools and gyms. But to elaborate onto the mental aspect of being healthy, we believe in a free public education for all ages. So first of all, we get a mix. It's 4 days of cyber school and then 3 days of one-on-one learning or small environment learning at the community center.
So learning in community centers for 3 days a week does promote socially active too, and it does create a tight-knit community within Red Essentia.
What jobs and skills are most important to the operation of your city?
The jobs that we probably need the most in our city to make it functional are all sorts of engineers. So as I mentioned, biological, chemical, electrical, mechanical, civil engineers, all those kinds of people that first even started out our city and even maintain them to fix any problems that may arise.
To elaborate on that, we also, for all of the actual processing of the waste, it's done by machines, but humans actually control the machines to get rid of humans actually touching waste and harmful. But everybody in Red Essentia, there's always a place for everybody. People who are teachers can work online, like with the cyber school program, or one-on-one or in the small environment learning at the community centers.
We do have our representative democracy, and on our city council, which is located in the Spire, our government, the city council includes an engineer and all different types of expertise to fully get every aspect of the city.
Okay, Red Essentia, if I remember correctly, you said is located near Scranton?
Yes.
Is that the Susquehanna running through?
Yes.
I know that area is prone to a lot of flooding up there with a lot of levees in that area. Did you account for the potential flooding of the Susquehanna?
So it's near Scranton, it's not in Scranton, so there's not a lot of roads and pavements that there are today. We do not have any. We did not build any additional pavements. So if there were roads, we let them naturally grow over. So now it's all trees and grass. So that will seep into the earth, and then any water coming from the sky can also seep into our rooftop gardens to grow our crops that the citizens can then pick.
So most of the time, citizens' transportation is elevated above the ground, and their residency and workplaces are inside self-sustaining skyscrapers.
And just to sum that up, no one's going to be usually outside if and when a huge storm happens that could trigger an overflooding of the Susquehanna.
How did you choose your waste management design?
We really took inspiration from today. We realized that what we had today was not adequate enough. It was not controlling the amount of waste. So we decided that we would break it up into 3 main types of waste that could be processed. So PFW is our main way to deal with waste. Then we also have Regreen to deal with organic waste, and we also have NanoClean to deal with medical waste. Now, organic waste that can be processed by Regreen can also be used in our system called Renergy. So as organic waste breaks down in compo bins, it actually gives off heat as it's decomposing. So we have water tubes in the side of the bins, and it then heats the water. It can be either used for gardens or led down to the citizens to be used.
So our waste elimination facility was mainly based on making sure that 100% of our waste is repurposed.